Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. And today I want to share with you guys another product by an Amazon seller who reached out to me the other day, and they were nice enough to send me a couple different products. One of which is a garage or driveway, or you could possibly use this for a walk, but technically it's a driveway sensor. Now this is great because where I live, I always like to know if somebody's going to pull into my driveway, whether it be for somebody just coming to visit me or the annoying person who turns around. I cannot stand it when somebody uses my driveway. Now, some of you might be thinking, you know, it's not really a big deal. But you know what? Where I live, the street I live on, I don't know what it is about my driveway. Everybody seems to think that instead of just coming up the cul-de-sac and not being lazy and taking the time to just turn around the cul-de-sac, which isn't that much further away, they pull into my driveway to turn in and back out. It's annoying to me. My property is my property. I'm very territorial, and it's kind of an annoyance. So, with this lovely device, in the event somebody pulls into my driveway, I can peek out the window, if I'm home of course, and take a look and see who's in there. Now, the other thing that's great about this, and mainly this product is mainly used for somebody who maybe lives on a much larger piece of property than I do. This is great because you could have this at the end of your driveway and it has a really long range. And so this is the device right here. With this particular one, you get the sensor itself and then you get a plug-in module. This can support, I believe, up to 4 different sensors. So if you had access to, I guess, maybe 2 different entrances to your driveway or your property, maybe a U-drive, maybe if you lived on a big piece of property, which I wish, because I can't stand being around neighbors. If you lived on a big piece of property and you had an entrance, maybe on both sides, you could use this. Even if you live in somewhere where maybe you have a portion of your property that you just want to monitor. Now, what's interesting about this, they claim that it is a driveway alarm system, and they have a range up to 50 feet as far as the width and the range to the sensor up to quarter mile. I'm not sure how that works. It must be a radio signal of some sort, obviously. It's not line of sight. But I can tell you, I am looking forward to testing this out because a lot of the devices that I've used, such as the wireless doorbells, do have a range. This is very similar to a wireless doorbell. Now, first off, I just want to state that this is not the device that the seller, which goes by the name of HTZ Safe, S-A-F-E, HTZ S-A-F-E, sells for on Amazon. I will link you in the description to their store so you can check out the tons of different products they have. But this is something I've been wanting to get for a while. Now, I don't know exactly where I'm going to use this yet, whether it's going to be out towards the end of my driveway, or I might just use this as a motion sensor on my walkway. It depends on the location, and you'll have to experiment with where you want to place this. Price of this is great. It's only $59 shipped to your door. However, the only thing I'm a little disappointed on, the seller sent me, prior to our agreement, a picture and a link of their of a different sensor, which actually had 2 separate solar sensors, which I believe either was maybe they were line of sight and not. This works off of heat. And so what this does is when you mount this, you're going to want to point this towards where the engine or exhaust would be on a car. Don't have it pointed straight up naturally. The interesting thing about it too is when I waved my hand in front of it, it picked up the heat of my body. Now, I don't know what the range is on a person. I will put an update in the description just letting you guys know a little bit more information based on my testing of this unit. But I'm going to start with using it in my driveway because it's kind of a nice thing to know if somebody's going to pull in there and, you know, attempt to park, or maybe they have the wrong house, or if you're waiting on something to be delivered, you'll know if somebody pulled into your driveway, of course. So a little bit more about the device. It is naturally solar powered. You have a big solar panel right on top, which is positioned, I like what that's positioned a little bit of an angle to help pick up the sun. Again, depending on where you live, you know, you may need to charge this manually. If you live in an area that's really dark or you're putting this somewhere shady, it does have a supplied about 8-inch USB cable, which plugs directly into the back of the unit right here. There is a weatherproof seal, which I'm going to put in here right now to protect it from the elements so you don't get water in there. There is the pair button on the back and the sensor button. Obviously, it turned red because it detected my motion. Hopefully, we can get it to do that again here. So you see it turn red again. I don't have the chime plugged in because it would be going off the entire time making the video, but there are 4 numbers, 1 through 4 right in the front of this, and this will light up blue in the event that one of your zones got detected. For pairing, it was really easy. You plug this in and you press the power button on the back of this device 4 times. And what it'll do, it'll instantly sync with the radio receiver, and then it'll start to give you a notification of your presence, of course. A little bit more about the device directly off the website. 50-foot wide motion detection range. So I'm not sure, again, based on where I live, some of these things, depending on where you mount them, could be an annoyance. I don't want this going off with every car that goes by. So 50 feet wide, and there's no way to adjust this. 50 feet's pretty large. This might be something used more for somebody who's living in an area where they don't get a lot of traffic, and really the only traffic going to their property or to their driveway would be you know, somebody specifically for them. For me, I live on a street where my neighbors coming and going. There's traffic all day long, you know, coming and going up the street. So we'll just have to test this and see. Again, I will put a link in description for the device, and I'll put an update based on where I think you might want to use this. I was thinking about maybe putting this near the front door of my house, so if somebody walks up, it'll give an audible chime. I'll just have to test it. You might be saying to yourself, why would you need that with all the cameras you have? Well, cameras are great, but I have so many, and they're constantly going off with motion detection. You never really know if it's a person. Mainly, I use cameras as a deterrent. If somebody comes up and I have to look back, roll back, and take a look at something, I have video footage that's recorded. As far as inside the house, those are more accurate because the only motion inside the house is either going to be me, and I can turn that off when I'm home or set that on a timer. And when I'm not home, that's when I want to be notified that there's any kind of motion in the house. Also, with cameras, they do get fooled pretty easily by light. The sun coming in and out, lights may be turning on or off, depending on your smart home setup. With something like this is going to be great for outside because although it may not give you a notification somebody's in your driveway when you're not home, it's going to give you a loud notification if somebody, you know, enters your property or driveway when you are home. The chime is really loud. There is a volume control button on this. You could change the volume. Very similar to what you get, again, in a wireless doorbell. I've used some of these in the past. Some of the smart home tech doorbells, like the one I have downstairs, comes with one of these in order to get that chime inside your house if you're not hooking it up to a hardwired doorbell, which if you've watched my video on that, I've ran into an issue with that particular doorbell and my transformer. But this is pretty cool. They work pretty reliably most of the time, and so we'll just have to give it a try. It is fully expandable. You have a 2-year warranty, at least on this model. You have up to 4 volume adjustments, 35 optional melodies. Only thing I have to say that's a little bit annoying, most of the melodies are songs, and I personally cannot stand ringtones and chimes that are music. I like things that are just normal chimes, you know, nothing fancy, basic. This has about 30, what I would consider 33 useless chimes. I think that in the future, and I always, when I review a product, I let the company know what I think. Most people don't want to have Humpty Dumpty or Jingle Bells or any of these different chimes happen for something like this. If my doorbell rings, I want a basic notification. Now, that's just personal preference. Maybe you're not like that. Maybe you do like, songs played on your doorbell or songs played with your ringtone. I mean, if that's the case and you have lots to choose from on here, for me, it's it's something that I always look for when I'm looking for a wireless doorbell or a chime system. I cannot stand music when it comes to a notification. It just goes on and on and on. And again, with this one, it doesn't go on that long, but still, I can't stand it. I want something very basic, very subtle, nothing that's going to scare that living hell out of me, you know? So it's got a 1/4 mile long wireless transmission range, which is going to be great because a lot of these things that I've seen, especially the doorbells, they don't have that great of range, especially something outside your house that has to communicate through walls, through paint, through all your furniture. To get to this device, again, I will give you guys kind of an update in the description on how this thing performed. This is the initial unboxing and review. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Not too much else to really say about the chime or the wireless chime receiver. Pretty basic. The device itself, nothing really to write home about. It's pretty straightforward. It's purpose-built. These aren't meant to be something that's pretty. It is pretty large, I will say, as compared to the one they were going to send me, but I will find a spot for this and test it out. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll probably use it somewhere else or just go ahead and sell it on Craigslist or give it to somebody who might have a piece of property. My buddy has a pretty big piece of property in a pretty large driveway, so it might work out better for him if I can't use it. So nonetheless, that's about it, guys. Pretty straightforward. Again, detects heat, not motion. It detects the body heat. It says the motion sensor will operate in -30 to 150 degrees. So if you live in a climate that's pretty cold, or 150, I don't think anybody lives at 150 degrees, but maybe in direct sunlight, because it is black, it might warm up. It says the wireless transmission technology is FSK plus FHSS. It says to avoid wireless interference from other devices, which is great because if you have built a smart home or apartment, you guys will know if you've done this that the more devices you have, the more unreliable things get. I mean, I have over 100 devices and I've had my share of issues, which is a whole different, I got it tweaked pretty good now, but that's a whole different conversation. Again, plug and play, expandable, quarter-mile long range, and it does have a 50-foot wide. Oh, well, that's good to know. Should always read before you review. It does have a 50-foot wide, high sensitivity, I guess, field of view for the sensor, but it says it is adjustable. Directly off their website, 50-foot wide motion detection range. The solar sensor can detect moving people or vehicles from 25 feet to 50 feet in front of it, improve motion detection, chip and detection angle, reduce false alarms from dead leaves, small animals, sunlight, wind, temperature changes, etc. Has 3 sensitivities, low, medium, and high. So 25 feet, 50, 30 feet, and 50 feet. So I'm probably going to start with this thing on the lowest setting and go from there, just because I am more of in a densely populated area. And we'll just see how it goes. So again, $60 shipped to your door with Prime, free returns if it doesn't work out, which is great on Amazon. I love the fact you can just return something if it doesn't work out. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think. I'll put a link in the description to the product itself, and I'm going to test it out. Follow up with me if you have any questions whatsoever, if you want to add this to your home. By the time this video airs, I will have tested this thing and know pretty much what to expect. And I'm always here to help you guys. Drop a comment, drop me an email. My email address is in the description. If I can help you guys in any way, I'm always here. Once again, I want to thank HTZ Safe for the generosity and sponsoring a couple videos. They have another product they sent me, which is a back brace for posture. So if some of you folks might be experiencing kind of difficulties with that, I've never used one of these before, so I'm gonna give it a try and just see if what the benefits might be. Another kind of oddball product. I always tend to work with most companies if they want to share a product, because I think there's so many cool things out there. This is how we discover cool stuff. Not always is a company got the pockets for advertising and big funding when it comes to promotions. So guys like us, like me, and influencers get to get these products and share them with you guys, and they might benefit somebody's life to improve it, or handle a problem with somebody's wants and needs. So check it out, guys. Let me know if you like the content. Subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and have a wonderful day. Take care.